In this video, I'll discuss about the structure and function of stomata as well as photosynthesis. So let's start the structure of the stomata. We know that the stomata present on the lower surface of the leaf, clear, and each stomata has two bean-shaped cells called guard cells. The inner walls of the guard cells are thicker than the outer walls. When the guard cells are full of water, they swell and bulge outwards and the stomata open. When the guard cells lose water, they lose their turgidity and the stomata closes. Clear? Next, the working of the stomata. The main function of the stomata is to let in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere for photosynthesis. Means it allows carbon dioxide gas from the atmosphere inside the leaves and so helps in the process of photosynthesis. When there is a dark, then stomata are not in use. They tend to close their openings so that no water is lost from the leaves through transpiration. When there is light, stomata reopen to allow carbon dioxide to diffuse in. The movement of water in and out of the guard cells is also regulated by the closing and opening of the stomata. In sunlight, water diffuses in. The guard cells swell and bulge outwards. Thus, the inner thick walls are drawn apart from each other, which helps in the opening of the stomata. The reverse happens in their closing. Water is drawn out of the guard cells, which makes them to shrink or become flaccid. Hence, their inner thick walls get straightened to close the stomata. Like this, stomata functions. Okay. Now, next, photosynthesis. We know that all green plants can prepare their own food, clear, and so all the green plants are called as autotrophs. Autotrophs means what? Yes, means the organisms, green organisms which can prepare their own food are called autotrophs, and this method of nutrition is called autotrophic nutrition. For preparing food, the plants require the following things. First, water. Second, carbon dioxide. Third, chlorophyll. And fourth, energy. Now, we will discuss about the sources of these requirements. Means from where plants get their requirements. So, they get water from the soil. They get carbon dioxide from the air. They get chlorophyll, which is contained in the leaf, and energy they get from the sunlight. Okay, so now I am giving the definition of photosynthesis. All of you please note it down. The process by which plant leaf prepares or synthesizes food from water and carbon dioxide in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis occurs in the leaf. The cells in the leaf containing a green pigment called chlorophyll are more abundant on the upper side of the leaf. So, name the green pigment which is present in the green leaf that helps in the photosynthesis. What is the name of that green pigment? Yes, chlorophyll. Clear? And this chlorophyll is present which side of the leaf? Upper side of the leaf. In the interior of the leaf, there are veins which bring water to the chlorophyll containing cells. On the lower surface of the leaf are present numerous pores, and these numerous pores are called stomata, which open into small air cavities inside the leaf. Carbon dioxide from the air diffuses into the leaf through the stomata and reaches the chlorophyll containing cells and helps in water. Which process? Correct. Photosynthesis. Helps in photosynthesis. So it is very clear. On the upper side of the leaf, chlorophyll present, and on the lower surface of the leaf, stomata present. Clear? Now, factors affecting photosynthesis. There are 3 factors that affect the photosynthesis. First, carbon dioxide. Second, light. And third, warm temperature. Warm temperature that should not be higher than 40 degrees Celsius. Why? Because above 40 degrees Celsius, if the temperature is, then it slows down and even stops the enzyme action. Means it can stop the process of photosynthesis also. All the 3 factors are interdependent, and each of these factors limits the other. For example, if CO2 is less and the other 2 are more, there will be less photosynthesis. Similarly, less light will slow down the process even if there is lot of carbon dioxide and warm temperature. Similarly, if the temperature is low, there will be less photosynthesis even if there is plenty of CO2. Too much light beyond a certain limit destroys chlorophyll, and the process of photosynthesis is hampered. Now, I am going to discuss the end products of photosynthesis. So, there are 2 end products of photosynthesis. Number 1, glucose, and number 2, oxygen. Utilization of synthesized food and its transportation. This is the next topic. Clear? Food manufactured in the leaf is required for use by all other parts of the plant. Glucose is formed in the leaf very rapidly during photosynthesis, and it cannot be transported to other parts with the same rapidity. So, it is converted into insoluble starch for temporary storage in the leaf. At night, again this starch is reconverted into soluble sugar, and this sugar is transported as sucrose solution through the veins of the leaf and down through the phloem of the stem. In this way, it gets transported to different parts of the plant where it may be reconverted into starch for storage or utilized to produce energy for various functions in the plant. Now, the next topic is importance of photosynthesis or significance of photosynthesis. So, 2 significance of photosynthesis. First, food for all, and second, oxygen for respiration. So, food for all. Green plants. We know green plants are the direct or indirect sources of food to all organisms. Next is oxygen for respiration. All the free oxygen in the atmospheric air is the result of photosynthesis. No animal can survive without oxygen as it is needed for respiration. Even the plants use the same oxygen in the dark for their own respiration. Now, I am giving you very important points regarding photosynthesis. So the first point is starch is produced in green leaves during photosynthesis, and this can be tested by iodine test. Means iodine test is utilized to check the presence of starch in the green leaves. Second point, chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Means photosynthesis occurs only in chlorophyll containing parts, and chlorophyll containing parts are green in color. Students, you must have seen some leaves which have white and yellow patches also on them. Such leaves are called variegated leaves. So you can define like this: green leaves which have white or yellow patches on them are called variegated leaves. An example of variegated leaves is coleus. Yes, Coleus. Clear? Third point, sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Only the part of the leaf exposed to sunlight performs the function of photosynthesis. So that's all for today. Clear? Have a nice